You know exactly what to do to lose weight. You've known for years. So why haven't you done it yet? Eat less, move more. It's that simple. But if it was that easy, why do so many people struggle with weight loss? I've been that person and I can tell you exactly why it's not that easy. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say that calories in versus calories out doesn't work. It's scientifically proven to be the only thing that works. It's literally the foundation of losing weight. And yes, it is that simple. But something being simple doesn't mean it's easy. This is what a lot of people actually miss or simply choose to ignore when they're giving out this advice. Now, there's advice that's actually better than this, but we'll talk about this later. But whenever I see people give out the advice and act as if eat less, move more is the be-all, end-all of weight loss advice, it just makes me roll my eyes so much. For one, it's not even correct. Eating less doesn't mean eating in a calorie deficit. You could be eating less and consuming more calories because it's not about how much food you're consuming, it's about what you're actually eating. However, whenever people say eat less, they think that is the same as being in a calorie deficit, and it just simply isn't. If that was what they were saying, I wouldn't have an issue with it. And of course, simply saying eat less, move more ignores the fact that the people they're saying this to have already heard this a million times. For some reason, they are just really struggling to do so. So in the end, even telling people, oh, you just need to be in a calorie deficit, it's pointless advice because people already know. Now, for some people, food is a coping mechanism. I know it was for me. I struggled with a binge eating disorder. And it stemmed from using food to cope with my emotions and being stressed. For others, they just didn't get taught what having a healthy diet actually looks like. And then there's a whole myriad of other reasons why someone could be struggling that, again, people are choosing to ignore, and actually a lot of them roll their eyes and act like it isn't real. Access to healthy foods isn't available to everyone. Access to gyms isn't available to everybody. Not everybody has the same amount of time to spend on being like at the gym all the time. If you're now going to comment, oh, if you can afford going to McDonald's for lunch every day, you can afford healthy foods, please just stop and think about that for a second. Do you really think that every single overweight person who struggles with weight loss is eating McDonald's every day? Like, really? You really believe that? I fully believe that saying stuff like that is just something people say so that they don't have to admit that this is a real issue. And of course, we have probably the most controversial reason of them all, chronic illnesses. Now, before you get mad, I will say one thing. Anybody who says that they are in a calorie deficit and they are not losing weight is bullshitting. You do not defy science. Yes, maybe your metabolism is really slow and you aren't burning the amount of calories that normal people burn, but that doesn't mean that you're in a calorie deficit. It is physically impossible to be in a deficit and not lose weight. If you are doing this, you are literally a medical miracle. Either the people who say this aren't tracking properly, they are lying about it, or they fully believe this and are lying to themselves. But no matter how you spin it, eat more, eat less and move more is simply shitty advice. So what is the real advice? Unfortunately, it's another generic advice, but it does work, and it's the only thing that works. It's that you need a lifestyle change. I've heard a lot of people who are trying to lose weight and who struggle to lose weight talk about this, and I've been there myself. When people talk about making lifestyle changes, they don't fully understand what this actually means. How about this? Before I tell you what this actually means, tell me in the comments what you think it means. You can pause the video and type it, and then just come back and, I guess, continue the video, because I'm going to tell you right now what a lifestyle change actually is. A lifestyle change is not simply cutting out sugar and going on a diet. A lifestyle change is going from 3,000 steps a day to 8,000 steps a day for the rest of your life. A lifestyle change is going from having pancakes for breakfast to having toast with eggs, chia seeds, tomatoes, and a slice of bacon for the rest of your life. Now, does this mean never having pancakes again? No, of course not. It just means that overall you're making healthier choices, and it's not temporary, it's a permanent change. And that's another mistake that people make when they're making these lifestyle changes. They think they can never have bad food, which is another thing I have a problem with actually. Again, you can. I promise you, you can. I've made the lifestyle changes and I still have chocolate. You just have to put in a little bit of effort, and I know it's hard, but you just have to find the foods that are balanced, that you like, and that are sustainable to have for the rest of your life. You can take your time with this. In fact, slower is better than fast, okay? Slow and steady changes will always win over making drastic changes. There are so many healthy recipes online that you can try, and who knows, maybe one of them will be your new favorite. But that does bring me to another little problem. Everybody will say, oh, just Google it when you need information about being healthy or weight loss. It's never been both easier and harder to find information online that is actually true. Everyone has an opinion that they put forward as fact, and half of it is wrong. And if you don't already know enough to filter out the bad opinions and the wrong information, you're already going to be lost before you're even started. I mean, even I still get things wrong. I'm just a random girl on the internet. I don't know everything there is to know about health and fitness. But the important part is I love this stuff, and I will always admit to when I made a mistake or I got something wrong, and I'm constantly trying to improve my knowledge. And if that sounds like something that resonates with you, then please give me a follow. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!